My in-laws booked a family vacation and charged my credit card without asking. I canceled it the day before departure. The silence on the other end of the phone call lasted exactly 7 seconds. I counted. You what? My mother-in-law's voice came through brittle and sharp. I canceled the reservation, I repeated, keeping my tone measured. The one you booked using my credit card information. How they'd gotten my card details still bothered me. Probably from that dinner last month when I'd covered the bill. My husband must have photographed the receipt when I wasn't looking. A small betrayal that felt massive in hindsight. This was supposed to be a family trip, she said. For Devlin's birthday. You're ruining everything. Devlin, my husband. The man who'd apparently handed over my financial information like it was community property. I would have loved to celebrate his birthday, I said carefully. If someone had asked me first, if we'd discussed the dates. If I hadn't discovered the charge when reviewing my statement. $3,000. Just sitting there on my credit card. Labeled as a beach resort booking. $3,000 we hadn't budgeted for. During a month when we were already stretched thin because of the dental work my insurance didn't cover. The crown replacement alone had cost $800 out of pocket. My brother texted me that evening. Dad says you're being selfish. What happened? I stared at the message. My own family, somehow already briefed on the situation by my in-laws, ready to weigh in with judgment. The speed of it impressed me almost. When Devlin came home, he didn't make eye contact. He set his keys down with exaggerated care, the way people do when they're trying to control their anger. My mom is devastated, he said. I imagine she is. This was important to her, to all of us. It would have been important to me too if I'd been included in the planning, or the decision, or the financial commitment. He turned then, and I saw something in his face I'd been seeing more often lately. A kind of exhausted frustration, like I was a problem that wouldn't solve itself. You could have just gone along with it, he said quietly. That's what family does. Family asks permission before spending someone else's money. They were trying to do something nice. The logic felt circular, dizzying. A gift that cost me $3,000 without my consent wasn't a gift. It was a presumption dressed up as generosity. But explaining this felt like translating between languages that didn't share a common root. My sister called the next day. I heard what happened, she said, and I braced myself. But then, good for you. Those 3 words unlocked something. I hadn't realized how much I'd been holding my breath, waiting for validation that never came from the people closest to me. Really? I asked. Are you kidding? That's insane. Who does that? We talked for an hour. She told me about her own in-law boundaries, the small wars she'd fought and sometimes lost. It helped, knowing I wasn't alone in this particular kind of battle. The resort processed my cancellation. I got back most of the money, minus a fee that stung but felt worth it. Devlin's family went anyway, booking cheaper accommodations at the last minute. The group photos appeared on social media. Everyone smiling on the beach, conspicuously without me. My uncle commented on one, "Family is everything." I didn't respond. Instead, I sat with the quiet of my own apartment, Devlin still at the beach with his family, and I felt something shift, not dramatically, not like a revelation, just a small, steady recognition that I'd drawn a line, and the line had held. When Devlin returned, tanned and distant, we'd need to have a longer conversation about boundaries, about respect, about what partnership actually meant when your families collided. But for now, I had my credit card statement showing a refund, and I had my own sense of having protected something important, my right to be consulted about my own life. It wasn't victory, it was just survival. But some days that's enough.